Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of Terraform. And today we'll be going through Terraform variable, especially a string variable, right? Terraform variable are kind of really useful, but today what we'll be doing is just talking about the string variable. We know that we have other type of variable. We'll go ahead and kind of make up another videos for what is variable, right? If you click on this little logo here, it is going to take me to a GitHub repository where a structure or the little example that we'll be using. And I will make sure that I kind of put the link of this repository in the description below, so that if you want to go ahead and follow the same step and do exactly what I'm doing, you are more than welcome to do so, because the code is here already written, right? I don't really like to open this code through GitHub console, and I will go ahead and just copy this, and I have cloned the repository already, and I have it here local. If you click on this Terraform variables, right now we are going through the string variable. I can go ahead and just copy this link and go to my terminal here, and I will kind of move to the location where I have that repository. And this is the root of the repository. I can go ahead now and kind of cd into that specific path that I can take it from GitHub. And here I have those two examples. I can type code here and go ahead and open this one in VS Code. And here I have those two examples here in VS Code. Now, if you click on the first example here, what we are going to see here is that we can define some variables here. Now, I think I need a cleanup here. This is something that maybe I ran before. As you guys can see here, I have a main.tf here, the provider.tf, and also the variable.tf vars file, and also a variable file. Let us look at what we kind of have here in the variable file. In the variable file, we kind of define a couple of variables here, and the first one here, it is the region, and the region here where we're going to deploy it is US is 1. And another variable here is just called the instance underscore EC2 underscore instance AMI, where we can hard code an AMI that we'll be using. And this AMI, I basically grab it from my account, from this US is 1 that I'm going to use, and it's just an Ubuntu AMI. And I will go ahead, if you get interested, you guys can let me know. I can go ahead and just shoot another video where I will be able to grab this AMI dynamically, and it does dynamically from any region that we want, right, using the data parameters. And here we can define the instance type that we want, and also the key name. This key exists already in my account, and also the security group. We can go ahead and create a security group using Terraform, but in this particular example, I have a security group already created in AWS, and I just grab the security group ID and plug it here. Here also we have the subnet ID where we want to deploy in within my default subnet. I basically grab one subnet ID where I want to deploy this EC2 instance, and the root device will basically set the root device as a number. As you guys can see here, we want the default to be 10 gig. We want the default to be 10 gig. Normally, if you want to launch any Linux instance in AWS, the minimum root device is 8 gig. That means if you're going less than 8 gig, it's not going to work. Also, if you are launching Windows, the minimum should be 30 gig, and you guys should kind of be aware of that. And here I just have some prefix here because I will be using something called a random string to also explain what is the Boolean variable, and also just what is the Boolean variable. If you go ahead here and open the main on the side, we'll see how we can reference this variable in one example here. Let me go ahead and open main on the side. As you guys can see here, we kind of have a resource to create an EC2 instance. And here we have the AMI ID. The way that we are going to reference that is what is what is the value, because this is an argument and this is the value. The value here will just be var.instance underscore var.ec2 underscore instance underscore AMI, which means it will go ahead and grab this AMI here and it's going to supply it here. And also the instance type, the same thing apply. It will go ahead and get the instance type that we have here in variable, which is T2 micro, and it will put it here. It will do the same thing for the VPC security group, the subnet ID, and also the subnet ID and so on. Also the root device, as you guys can see here, we'll be grabbing the var root device and block it here. You guys can see I usually kind of define my variable, the same thing with all arguments here, right? You can kind of change this name, that is up to you, but I usually try to keep those names the same. And here we just have a tag where we'll have an instance name. Here we want to create a bucket in this example also. And with this bucket, what we are doing here is like we want to come up with a unique name in AWS, right? As you guys remember, if you want to create a bucket in AWS, you need to make sure that the name is unique. And sometimes if you are not really good, right, to kind of come up with names, make sure that you kind of use this random string. I mean, it's just a special resource also in AWS called random string, where you can come up with a string that you can append to your bucket, right? And this will be generated automatically, where you can have maybe the length. And here, if you guys check here, the length here, we are saying that we want this to be like 8. You can put any value that you want. And also, do we want to have something like a special character? I said false. I don't want to have any special character. Here, do we want to have any uppercase? Also, I said false here. Do we also want to have the number? I will say true. Yep, I want to have numbers. Let me change this one to true. I want to have numbers. And what else? We have the special character. We have uppercase and we have numbers, right? Now, and this will generate that. And when it's going to generate that, this is where we are going to kind of reference the random string result and append that to this bucket so that our bucket will be unique. And this is just a tag, right? Now, let me go ahead and kind of see the second example that we have here. Now, there's nothing even in the second example, which is great. Let me go ahead here and kind of fire this up, and we'll go ahead and create this resource. If you open my terminal, I can see the tab ls here. I have example 1 and example 2. I'll go ahead and kind of cd into example 1, and we can go ahead and kind of initialize this. We say Terraform init. It will go ahead and download the provider and kind of store it local. And from here, we can go ahead and tap Terraform plan to see exactly what it's going to create. As you guys can see here, it's going to create 3 resources. The first resource will basically be the EC2 instance. Another one will be the random string. And the last resource will be our S3 bucket. So you can see it's going to create the random string here. And if we scroll up, we'll see another resource here will be the S3 bucket. And the last one will be the EC2 instance, right? Let me go ahead and kind of run Terraform and make sure that it's going to create this thing successfully. We can go ahead and type Terraform apply and hit yes. And it will go ahead and launch all those resources in AWS, just an S3 bucket and also an EC2 instance. If you go over to AWS and kind of click on EC2 instance, click on running, just remove the set, and we'll see here that one is staying here. It is in the pending state, right? This one, it is in the pending state. And if you are kind of duplicate the tag and move to S3, I can just type everything here in the search bar and click here. And if you check carefully, as you guys can see here, we have my unit bucket, and this is what we call a random string. As you guys can see, we just say we want just what here. Go back again and we check what we have here one more time. As you guys can see, we say, okay, what do we want here? Bucket number, we say true. We say also uppercase. We didn't put any uppercase. We did not put any special characters. And we said the length should be this. As you guys can see, it basically this, it creates a random string here, but it is not even input any number in here. Just you can't do anything here because you are not the one decided that it's going to put WO and whatsoever right around them, so that it will make sure that you always have that your bucket name is unique. But there will be other videos where I'm going to show you guys how to use like format to come up with a name that you want. If you are interested, you can also let me know in the description below, so that we can kind of get our name from a tag that we define, that we can append maybe the environment, we can append the region or our account ID, and make sure that the bucket name will always be unique, right? Another way to kind of come up with a bucket name that will always be unique. Let me know in the description below if you want to see that, and I'll go ahead and kind of cook up another video. If we see here, if you open my terminal here, everything was kind of deployed successfully. Please, when you are working with AWS, when you are done, go ahead and do the cleanup so that you won't get charged, right? When you are done, do the cleanup, just go ahead and tap Terraform destroy and make sure that you destroy all the resources that you basically go ahead and create it. Otherwise, you might get charged because of those resources. And that's it for this video. And I hope this video was really informative. Bye-bye.